Tell us who you are.
My name's Mark Paul, and I'm a travel baseball dad. I uh, I used to work at an electric utility company for 17 years, and then one day my 14-year-old daughter was like, "Hey, Dad, you need to make TikTok," and I was like, "All right." So I started doing some TikToks, and I had a couple views on them until my son's team was finished playing baseball. He was gonna. This was the last year we were with this team, and we all knew we were done at the end of that year. Everybody was done. My kid's going somewhere else after this year. And I was like, all right, well, then I was sitting around there and everybody was like, you can make a reality show out of this travel ball stuff. And so I started recording myself because I'm the same guy in real life as I am on these videos. I really am. And so I started recording myself about how the parents acted. And well, now we're at 500,000 followers across all platforms. I got 3 new businesses, and I get flown around all over the country to hang out with a bunch of travel ball kids and teach people. And honestly, it's became a positive now. Now it's informative. My videos are comical, but they're also now helping people get through this cult-like world of travel ball that everybody's involved in because all of our babies are going to go to the major league someday, and that's kind of how it goes. So that's my deal. That's who I am.
When you came here to Cedar Rapids, did you know that the person who essentially invented travel ball is really the reason that you're here?
Yes, I
Okay.
did
Tell me a little
actually.
bit about what you
So
do.
I knew this because I do some stuff with Perfect Game, and I know that the Fords were involved with the Baldwins and stuff with that. I'm friends with the people who own that now, and I knew that they knew them for a long time. So I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, well, I was supposed to be here. I mean, I'm the travel ball dad. Now I'm hanging out with people who created travel ball. So there you go. Is that
That's
good?
good.
I'm
No,
just talking.
no, that's great.
Okay.
So, what's the greatest encounter you have had as a result of starting to do these videos? What's the encounter or encounters you've had that have taken you aback a little bit, where it's like, oh, wait a second, that person's paying attention to what I'm
Oh
doing?
yeah. Well, it started with the blue check marks on Instagram, and I was like, "Who are these people?" I didn't know who it was, but I'd always follow them back. And it was a lot of bachelorettes and bachelors from like ABC or whatever it was, and I was like, "Man, this is great." And I was thinking, as time went on, I'm like, "Well, there's some person that just called in and wanted to be on the show." The one that took me back, honestly, was probably when the MLB started following me, their social media page. It wasn't even anything big, but at the time, I mean, two half years ago, to see the MLB's following me, or ESPN wants to put me on their TikTok page, or Alyssa Milano hit me up, and that was a good because she's a travel ball mom, and she was like, "I love your content," and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I had a crush on her when she was on the poster on my wall when I was like 16 years old, and I told her, I sent her, I said, her kid's good, and I said, "I'll send you any pair of sunglasses your kid wants right now." I said, and then she didn't respond after that, but it's still, but she knew who I was, and now she's friends with me, but no, the thing but the most part that what's really taken me back has been the support from the fans that I have, and I like to see how they'll post, repost, and share my videos, and then I can actually see what they're sending out and read what people are saying about me behind my back that's not on my actual page, and it's a really good feeling because you're like, wow, I'm actually making a little bit of a difference now, and people are telling me that, like, hey, you're making this better. You're helping out umpires more. You're helping out parents. You're dealing with coaches. You're able to handle kids. When I show up in a dugout, kids are a little happier now because I bring a almost a mental approach to the game than all the people have. And all those things are probably, and I could, if I sat around and had more time to think about it, I'd probably come up with better stuff. But that's probably been about all of it that's really taken me back is that, yeah.
Could you have imagined that you were going to wind up being asked to go on a cruise, a travel ball cruise of
Yeah.
baseball and softball
No,
people?
no. And I don't even know what that's going to, that was just so, all these tournament directors around the country are just like, man, I'm doing better than everybody else. And wait, I got videos coming about a tournament director. You wait on them. And, but some of them do it right. And then you start working with them and you're like, wow, this is really good. And the people that they work with, it's like, wow, this really is a thing. And you're seeing the difference you make. And then one day they said, hey man, this could be big. And it wasn't even just that. It was, I mean, there's a baseball mom summit, there's stuff like this. There's just me going to showcases. There's me taking my teams across the country. And now you've got, like I said, they got the hotel stuff going on. I'm doing videos for hotels being in, those places. And now, yeah, Royal Caribbean Cruise. And DirecTV's reached out, Hilton, You know, Game Changer. There's been Gatorade, and I've done work with all these people. And just like I said 2 years ago, I was sitting in a cubicle drawing an AutoCAD with the telephone pole and a transformer, and then I got fired because of the video. Here we are. So that's it.
So was it because of something you said in a video, or just that you were spending time?
Oh man, no, I was just trying to find a common ground to have fun with my daughter. She was 14, and we kind of pushed. She's a sibling, you know. She don't. My son plays baseball, and she gets pushed off the side, and she's running around. You need to get on social media. I don't want to be on social media. Just watch your brother. And then it was like, fine, I'll do a TikTok. And it was like, hey, oh my God, my kids are all so good. My kid plays shortstop. And then everybody's like, whoa. And then I'm like, yeah, my kid's better than your kid. And then that's you know that's been the whole deal. I forgot what your question was. What was it again?
I think it was about imagining being on the cruise.
The cruise deal. Yeah, I mean.
No, it was about being fired. It was about, was it something you did, or was it just that it became this moonlight?
Oh yeah, that's what it was. No, it slowly grew, and it was like, wow, I got 5,000. Oh, now it was 10,000 views, and then it was like, man, I'm at 40,000 views, or 40,000 followers, and then a company reached out, e-commerce company reached out, and said, we'd like for you to speak at a Royal Caribbean. No, it wasn't. It was a Ritz-Carlton winter meeting, and they had all these companies out, Rawlings and Easton, all these big baseball companies were there, and New Balance, and then all these MLB players and stuff. And I spoke at it, and they were like, wow, this dude's kind of funny. And I had about 40,000 followers, and then they all sent me a bunch of free stuff, and I was like, this is the coolest day ever, because I was getting baseball bats and stuff sent to me, and I'm like, oh man, I'm famous. And everybody in my family were like, this is true, they were like, well, look, it's the TikTok guy. And it was such a joke for everybody. And then I'm walking around and like, you making another funny video today? And I'll make fun of the in-laws, Christmases, dude. And my mother-in-law was like, you gonna do any work? You gonna stay on that phone the whole time? And then all of a sudden, you sell a t-shirt one day, and then you're like, bang, it was like $6,000 that first week. And I was like, let's go, baby. And I was making like $3,000 a month as an electrical designer. And I'm thinking, I don't won the lottery. And then I got another free glove showed up in the mail. And I'm thinking, I'm at, 100,000 followers, and I'm ready to retire on my, off my free bat and my 10 grand that I got from my t-shirts, and call it a day. And then everybody was like, he's got something going on here. And then that developed into, more t-shirts, and then batting gloves and sunglasses and stuff. So I've kind of.
Now, I got a question about the stuff. Where are you putting all the stuff?
Oh, in my basement. Yeah, no, I've got all the t-shirts are my family's. That's kind of our deal. And then I ended up partnering with a business partner of mine, Jesse Haynes, who's he's sourcing this. Well, we're actually shipping and receiving out of Tulsa, which is through his apartment, because his landlord let him have a basement downstairs. So we pay some little college kid to print off some shipping labels, as I do my daughter, through Shopify. And it's starting to get a little busy right now, and it's getting to the point to where that's the only thing we're doing is really just shipping and receiving. We don't have to worry about none of the emails anymore and all that stuff. But it's getting ready to get into maybe a little spot we have where I just kind of hire somebody to do it. But it's hard because right now it's still so new, and my wife's like, let's just wait. But it's getting bigger, and you're like, we're okay to probably make this next move now. And it's just been like a stair-step deal. I've been very smart with the money and spent. I only started this with $7,000. That was it. And now I'm, like I told you, we're going to hit about, close to about 750,000 in sales this year, just off MP3 baseball. And then, and it's went up every month. We've been able to see it from last year. And then we've spun that off with our Solero Shades company. And then we have a new agency called Diggers Agency, where I've been talking to a couple kids a day, just signed with Iowa, about some little NIL deals with my sunglasses brand. I give them some free sunglasses and work out a little, and that's.
Well, it's interesting. Part of what we're trying to do with like issuing these credentials to all these kids. I just had 70 baseball players out in Utah who all said 100% on board. Please help us.
Yeah.
Had the booster from Northern Iowa talk about his program. Booster from Mount.
Well, and the thing about it is I realize the parents of those kids now know me, and they trust me now. They're like, wow, this guy delivers a good quality product. He's honest. He sees what's going, doesn't play daddy ball. He does look at it from a realistic level. And I've got a really good, solid customer service thing with my stuff, which all of this is kind of piggybacked off of each other. Be like, he's got a thing going. And right now, that's all you hear. Well, you got something going right now. We're all just, trying to get that next level. So.
Well, what's great, though, is you're not just some booster doing NIL deals.
Yeah.
Put money in a bag and persuade them to go play at
yeah.
whatever SEC
Yeah, it'd be free sunglasses. Can't put money in a bag. Yeah, just free little sunglasses first.
So they're
Someday.
but they're happy with that, right?
Yeah.
You're moving the needle for them. They're moving the needle.
Yeah, because it's a good quality stuff, and it's not $300 pair of sunglasses. You know, it's 100, and it's 80, or 60, or and it's just because I understand that you can still have good quality stuff. Travel ball is expensive, and that's what started all this was travel ball. But at my level, it was like you're already spending $400 or $500 on a bat, two of them. You got all your uniforms. It's part of $300. You got your $400, A2000. You got your or whatever, and then. Why do you need a pair of $300 sunglasses? I don't know, but I can't compete with the gloves or the baseball bat companies, but I compete with accessories for parents and kids and be like, well, sunglasses was an easy thing with margins and stuff. And it was just a good move. And that's just a side thing, and then you've got, like I told you, all these different little avenues that you can kind of go down. And I really just kind of stay involved with which one works the best and add a little comedy to it, wear some stuff and don't really try and sell it like I told you and push it out and you give people some, here's the do's and the don'ts of travel balls, just because he sits the bench, been playing 7 innings, he'll be all right, but he goes on the bench, it's going to be okay. He's 7, all right? We're not at an MLB yet, and that's me.
What's your favorite? Your voices are all almost the same.
Yeah.
But they're all different bits. When it's the umpire or it's
the
mom or it's the dad or the father or the scout.
Yeah.
What are your favorite characters to mock, and can you give us kind of a
I like that mom and I like that sibling kid. That little kid that's just running around all the time like, hey, and you're like, what? And it's like, I ain't $5. And you're like, go away. And it's like, no, I need your phone's battery's dead. I want the phone. And it's just like, and then the mom's like, sits back there. Mom's probably the best because the moms will sit there and you don't even need to say anything with your mom. You can just look. The moms will be watching them games. He ain't never gonna move him. Look, he done dropped 3 balls. They'll still put an error on Game Changer. Driving me nuts. Look at her. She's flirting with his husband too, and it's just crazy. I don't know what's going on. He ain't even that good. He tried to claim he played baseball, but he didn't. He only played baseball online. And that's the mom. And that really is my mother, is what it is. With a little bit of Marie Barone from Everybody Loves Raymond and a little bit of my mother-in-law, who I call Google, because she knows everything. You mix them 3 in. Oh, and Whitney Draper and Alicia Halpin. Y'all are on that list too. That's 2 of my travel ball moms that couldn't keep their mouth shut. But they're really close friends of mine. They let me say that, so I love you girls. But yeah, that's been my thing.
Where'd you grow up?
Louisville, Kentucky.
You've been so lifelong Louisville.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a Kentucky Wildcat fan, so let everybody know that.
What inspired you to become funny? I don't know if people are born.
No, I was the same way my whole life. And everybody I've talked to said, man, that dude never changed. He's been the same way his whole life. And I think what it was those, probably those yearbook signatures. Don't ever change. Stay the way you are. And I said, all right, I'll do that. Now I'm 40 almost, and I'm still this little immature dude. But it inspired me. I think it's what it was here's what it did. Here's a good way to look at it. I worked at all sorts of different jobs. I was a janitor. I worked in the corporate office under a bunch of CEOs at a huge, utility company. And I've been a maintenance manager. I've kind of done some, drawing, little AutoCAD stuff. What I was talking about, I was a a personal trainer, physical therapist. I wanted to be a physical therapist. A personal trainer, worked out in the gym a lot, and I was able to meet different types of people. And without realizing it, I think what happened was I gave everybody the same honest, I'll treat you the same way as that janitor over there because you own a multi-million-dollar company, because I'll be out there with the smokers behind the dumpster who just needed a break. And I always found a common denominator, something common with everybody. And I thought that was important because I didn't, I just don't really care. I don't care about politics. I don't care about religion. I don't care what you want to do to yourself. I'm just cool. Like, I just meet people and like, what we talked about. I just met you today, and everybody I've met to, I've just been like, yeah, I get it. That's cool. This is what I do. And I'm just kind of like, this has helped me. This whole job that I'm doing has helped me be more honest. I'm 100% honest, but I do it in a nice way. And if I have anything on my mind, I'll say it, but I'll make sure it's not a way where it hurts anybody's feelings. And I don't have a problem apologizing for things that I didn't do just to make a situation better. I let a lot of little things go when a lot of other people can't. And I think that's kind of what maybe separates me a little bit more, because I've always been able to adapt to different types of people. And that's been a huge deal for my whole life. And it's not started today. It's been started when I was a little kid.
So it personifies to me what a great teammate should be
in
sports.
Yeah.
So how much do you think it helps kids to kind of realize
You have to.
Take myself a little less seriously?
I've got kids. I've been dealing with kids from really probably about 1 all the way to now. I mean they were 12-year-olds, but now I'm working with 13, 14, 50, and you can see the different attitudes, and then you can watch how a coach will treat his kid versus his buddy's kid, or maybe the one kid that doesn't say a whole lot, or that kid cries after he hits the ball every time. Why does he cry? He don't cry. This one cuss you out. Did he just throw a bat at that kid or a helmet? He's 9. Is his parents teaching him that way? So I'm the guy that literally does kind of find that thing like, okay, Mr. 11-year-old here, have you never struck out before ever? Mm-hmm. So why are we crying now? Because we've did it 100 times. Are you ever going to strike out again? Uh-huh. Well, so why is it a big deal now? You ain't even gone through puberty yet. You don't even have hair under your armpits. Uh-huh. And then they'll laugh. I'm like, okay, maybe he's right. And then some of them won't. But you just, as time goes on, just like anything else, I'll find some sort of common, little thing to find in these kids to where I'm like, okay, now I got them. The one kid, we was on a team, spit on another kid. Everybody was hating on that kid. He was a little bitty kid, got mad at the end of the game, spit on one of them. And I knew that kid was a good little dude, and I'm just and I looked at him and I was like, hey, I know you did that. I know you was the one that did that. But, and then you talk to him and you're like, come on, man, like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? This is what's gonna happen if you do it when you get older. You get away with it now, you might as well. But, and then, so you try and find little, you get harder conversations with kids that are harder to deal with than others. Some of them don't even want to talk to you. My daughter is, and you can edit this, but actually edit it in a way my wife won't be mad at me. But my daughter is a know-it-all. She's me. She thinks she's the best one out there when she's not. I look the part, but I'm not. My son's the quiet one who'll hit the grand slam, but won't care. I would have been on Facebook screaming hallelujah because I got a bunt and made it to first and didn't get out. I was like, look what I did. You should be like me, and so, that kind of stuff is done. I've always, like I said, just try to find something that works with just people, and laughter helps. And then, with all this stuff, even without me realizing it, all these funny videos got to a point to where it was like, wow, they're being informative now. And that's really took me back. Like, wow, you really helped me, my son loves baseball now because now I put him on a team because you told me, hey, let me worry about my son as opposed to this popularity contest because I want that girl, I don't like that mom. You're going to stay on this team. You're better. No, do what's best for your kids, and stuff like that. I could go on. That's probably not a good thing.
I want you to say something nice about
I'm
your
rambling.
daughter. I feel like your daughter has been a little bit.
My daughter has been my assistant. My daughter she's sweet. She's a little spitting image of me. She's 16 now. She's growing up. She has been big help. She's going to be the one that most likely could take this whole thing over. She's already doing running the whole Shopify stuff. She's a good little salesperson. I put her in the booth 'cause she's cute, and she sits there and she usually just flirts with all the 16, 17, 18-year-olds, which is good because she just sells them to them. And then I deal with the moms of all the 7, 8-year-olds. So we got a good little balance going on. So that's Macy.
What's your favorite movie or comedian? Is there
Yeah.
something in pop culture that?
Yeah, I'm big on the older guys. Rocky was a big deal. Sylvester Stallone and Rocky movies were a big thing. But the comedian thing with me, I was always big on Murphy. Kevin Hart. I like his new Matt Rife guy. He's pretty solid. But I like stand-up a lot. I like those older guys. Bill Cosby. I watched some of his stuff back in the day. But I was high on Eddie Murphy. That Eddie Murphy Raw and Delirious was. And then I felt like Kevin Hart and me had a good same kind of background. He kind of started kind of the same way. And I pay attention to a lot of those comedians on how they do it. And it's like, well, how do you monetize your brand? And how do you stand in the limelight, because that's something, you got to stay up on it. People don't teach you that stuff. It's like, well, how do you stay relevant? And then how do you keep coming out with fun? Like there's certain comics now who are awesome who I don't think were as funny as they used to be. I like, Richard Pryor a lot. And I mean, some of the dirty one, I know off the top of my head, I can't think of them all, but even some of the cleaner ones like Sebastian Maniscalco is pretty good. But that Matt Rife and me, like I'll watch him. He's a new up and coming guy right now. He's a big deal right now. And because I look at him, I'm thinking that's what I do. Like I'm the quick guy off of the, hey, what, and that's it. But comedy movies, Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler. Everybody thinks I look like Adam Sandler. And somebody said Adam Sandler and Alf. Like, what was that? Which I looked it up. I kind of agreed with them. But yeah. But I like those older movies, 90s, 80s, stuff like that, all the funny ones.
Yeah, I still think Trading Places might be the funniest movie ever made.
Trading Places, yeah, that's a pretty good one too, though. I was pretty high on, you know, my favorite comedy movie. That National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is pretty hard to beat. That's probably up there for me. That Chevy Chase is a solid dude. You know, I like him, and so I like.
Edit out the Cosby.
Yeah, I thought about that. I know. I thought about that. Like, get rid of that. So we'll change. We'll just go Pryor and Eddie Murphy. I said that. I said shit. Just said that. Yeah. Yeah, no, we love Bud Light too, guys. We edited that one out too. Dude, I was on a cruise ship and I had no idea that Bud Light stuff was going on. And let's be honest, man, if I ain't drinking Miller Lite, what do you Bud Light's fine. Before it didn't matter. So then here I am on this cruise ship, like literally like 3 months ago, and I'm holding this Bud Light in my hand. And this little girl was like, "Can I get a picture with you?" "Sure, honey." There's my cup. And then all of a sudden it gets posted. When I get home, I got all these messages. "What are you doing holding a Bud Light can? You from Bullitt County, Kentucky. You supposed to be drinking Miller Lite." And I'm like, "What happened?" And they were like, "You didn't hear? Look at this." And I'm like, "Oh," I said, "I dress up as a baseball mom. What am I going to do?" So that's how I finished that. You know what I mean?
Perfect. Is there a music thing? Do you have a go-to music?
Oh, dude, yeah. I'm all the way from Elton John all the way to Insane Clown Posse. I go Elton, Usher, Marilyn Manson, the Eagles. I mean, I can go CCR, wherever you want to go. Buddy Holly, I like some of his stuff. Anything, Billy Joel, anything. Like my dad, I played keyboard actually, and by ear. I've been playing the piano my whole life. My dad plays guitar. He got me in on the '70s, Skinner and all that stuff, and Beatles. I know all about that. Watched I Love Lucy, Dick Van Dyke, and Andy Griffith, and I've seen all the reruns. So that's. I was kind of.
Movie about what you've done, what you're doing, who you are. What does that look like? Who would play you?
It probably would be Adam Sandler. That's a lot of here. I think it's the nose thing, which has been a whole thing. I've heard a lot of people say that just because we seem like we come off with that kind of just real. But you know, you could go. I think I don't know. I'd probably go like Leonardo DiCaprio, but you know, no, I don't know. I would probably go. It had to be some sort of comic. There's been some people that say that him, and you know, I guess you could make a case for. I don't know. Let's go Adam Sandler. Maybe Stallone. I don't know.
Well, his story's great. I mean, him creating Rocky and saying, "I got to be in it. We're not doing it."
Yeah, it was 70. Yeah, the first one he did that. You know, I like those movies a ton. I like those underdog movies, but I do tend to follow Kevin Hart a whole lot just because I think that he started from the same kind of way and he kept his friends like close. His circle got smaller. I'll never be on that level, but you know, that is, if I'm on just a percentage of that and just being able to support, you know, my family, then it's going to be all right. And I think for the most part, I'm doing that now. And so I've kind of already done it, really.
Have many kids and parents asked you about, this is the last question, many kids and parents asked you about sort of learning from you and emulating what you've done for their own brand?
Yeah, 100%. I like I was telling you earlier, I had a team that I coached in the showcase, a bunch of kids that I met from all over the country. And then I was always like, I was just kind of picking one kid from each team. And I was like, well, let's put them all together. So then I brought that team out to Georgia, played a perfect game tournament, World Series, but 87 teams, is humongous. And everybody knew I was down there. And I had 13 kids on that team. And I went out there and coached, and they lined these things up to watch me coach at these tournaments. And after the game, everybody would come up and they were really appreciative. They were like, "You were one of the best coaches." Because I genuinely kept it positive the whole time. I've never been kicked out of a game ever. I'm positive with the umpires. I care about the coaches, the other coaches' kids. I care about the other team. I don't have an issue with that other team kid getting a real good hit. I'll let him know about that. I'll high five him. There are kids of mine. I teach my son, you hit a kid, you go apologize to him. You started at a young age. You want to get older and throw a fit and not like anybody, fine. But at least lay some sort of decency foundation with the kids at a young age. Some of them get in there and they yell and cuss all the time. And it's just, and I'm not going to be in there screaming at them, but I do try and find out a positive, you know, common ground between each kid, and those parents see it. "I got a mom. Here, buddy, what's going on?" You know, and it's kind of that thing. But you got the other one over there is a little more mean. You can't do that with him. And so it has been nice to hear families just be like, "Hey, I appreciate what you do. Keep a positive, you know, demeanor out there. You know, give credit where it's due." It's just, they're kids. They're 11. We all say it, but you know, at the end of the day, it's like, well, you know, I don't care what they do. And it's like, well, you don't ever act like it. Well, they're 11. Well, and so that's You know, you get a little bit older. You just got to learn the ages, what you're dealing with. It's going to change the older you get. You're allowed to get mad when you get older, but starting something out, you know, you don't want to portray it as a negative. I just figured, why don't I just be nice? I listen to all these people. Everybody's just be nice to people. All everybody wants to do is everybody be nice. I've been taking more. I got that. Can't wait for that little umpire foundation that I'm forget this is even on. But I'm excited about that thing because genuinely, you need to bring light to that situation. Those umpires get paid $50 out there to sit out here in the heat, covered in black and blue, and they're hot and sweaty, and you got a bunch of parents yelling at them who are 8 and 9 years old who don't know anything what they're talking about. They're screaming at them, and they're just trying to make a living. And it's like, dude, they're 9 or 10 kids. Just let them know. It's not. We don't have instant replay. We kind of do on the mom's cell phones, and they're recording their babies. But look, we did drop the ball. We're not doing it, you know. So, but yeah, that's about it.
Well, we could do this for.
No, I never shut up, man. It was very nice to meet. Yeah.
Very nice to be working.
Very, yeah.